Today, we'll be learning about fraction. I wanted to take a day to help you guys have a concrete understanding of fraction rules so you won't have a hard time with your fractions next time. Now, many of you may ask, why do we have to learn fraction? We have to learn fraction because it helps us understand or helps us divide space, time, things, and much more. We need fraction to understand the logic of simple division. Finally, fraction is important because it will help us understand more complex mathematical theories. In other words, fraction helps us to divide a whole unit into parts. Let's take pizza for an example. Fraction represents part of the whole unit. One whole pizza is one whole unit. If we want to feed 8 students, we would have to divide the whole pizza into 8 pieces. So each person gets 1/8 of the whole pizza. We also use fraction every time we look at a clock. For example, if it's 5:15, we usually say it's 5:15. If it's 5:30, we would say it's 5:30. And finally, if it's 5:45, sometimes we say 6:15, meaning 3/4 of one whole hour passed and 1/4 of one whole hour still left until it turns 6 o'clock. Any value of anything that's not a whole number is fraction. So 5 is a whole number, but 1/5 is fraction because it's not a whole number. Without fraction, it will be impossible for us to bake. For every 2 eggs you put into your cake mix, you are using 1/6 of a dozen eggs. We also use fraction to measure other ingredients, such as cup of milk, a stick of butter, teaspoon of salt, and half cup of chocolate chips. Imagine the result of baking a cake with entire shaker of salt, a whole gallon of milk, 1 whole pound of butter, a dozen eggs, and the entire bag of chocolate chips. You would either have really bad tasting cake or a cake size of your kitchen. Another example of uses of fraction in our daily life is a sale. 25% sale means it is 1/4 of the whole price is deducted. 1/4 of $100 skateboard would be $25, so you'll be buying your new skateboard for $75. 50% sale is something we all love because our price is reduced, so it's half off. Half of 100 is 50, so you will be buying your new desk for $50. Why is learning fraction so hard? It's because of the rules you need to learn. Concept of fraction isn't difficult, but it's what we do with fraction. We learn the rules for adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. So with that said, here's what we're going to do today. First, I will visually demonstrate on the board how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide with fractions. And then you'll work on your fraction worksheet. Then, we'll make a deck of fraction cards to play Go Fish. About 45 minutes later, we'll gather and play Fraction Jeopardy game. And finally, you'll write a short story using fractions. But wait, let me explain how to make your fraction cards. First, you will cut 4 to 5 construction papers into 32 pieces. And then, on one paper you'll write out the equation, and the other piece of paper you'll write the answer to the equation. So you should have a total of 16 equations and 16 answers to the equation. And when you're done, you may play Go Fish with your classmates. For example, Bob will ask Sally if she has the answer to 1/2 times 1/4. If Sally doesn't, Bob would pick up another card from the deck. So this is exactly like the original Go Fish, but you're just playing with fraction. Have fun!